Hey, welcome back, friends. Good to see you here again. You know what? I know it's been a long time since I put out a video. Hey, man, things get busy. Life gets busy. You know what it's like. So let's come up with something interesting. So my wife had a couple of these serving boards that she's had for a while. And I was like, I was kind of having trouble kind of coming up with something to do, some kind of craft to do. And she had these, and she said, "Well, can you do with these?" And I was like, "You know what? Maybe I'll make a charcuterie board. Charcuterie board. Meat and cheese board." Then I thought, you know what? This is already kind of done. Really nothing to do here. So let's do something crazy with these. Let's make some guitar pedals out of these things. Let's see how it goes. All right, guys, let's try it out. All right, guys, here we are. We're gonna start out in the garage, and we're gonna get some work done to these boards. The first thing we have to do is mark off where I'm gonna put the pickups. So that's what I'm doing right here, just using a spray can and just marking off where I wanna route out the area for the pickups. So after that was done, just kind of clamp it to the table, try to be as safe as possible, and route out the area that we marked off. Okay, so this is just a couple of pieces of 2x4 I cut and rounded off the edges, and then I'm just giving it a quick sand. And this is what's actually going to hold the plug-in jack and the volume knob. Didn't have any other pieces of wood that would work with this project. Had a couple pieces of hardwood, but I thought this will be fine. This will look good as it is. So just screwing those on, and after that, I'm going to take the step of drilling out the passageways for the wiring. That goes right underneath the board and into the 2x4. So that drilling went right through from where the pickup was routed out. That goes right up underneath into the 2x4. And then in the front, the same thing, drilled it out. And then it started using a chisel to get a square hole so that we can put a cover on it as well. And here you can see I used some Minwax stain. This is a black stain. Thought it would look pretty cool here. I didn't know exactly how it would turn out, but after started spreading on the board here, it looked pretty good. You know, I used quite a bit of the stain just to make sure that it would penetrate, and then I wiped off the excess, and this is what turned out. It looks really, really cool, almost like an antique-y sort of vibe to me anyway. So next came the front of the boxes here where I put the controls, and I needed a support, so I used hardboard. You know, a super strong kind of cardboard fiber mix, you know, if you want to say it. So just cut this out. I knew it'd be strong enough to be the faceplate for the input jack and the volume knob. So that's why I used that. It's easily paintable, easy to cut, and to make fit into the front there. So that's why I use that. And so just cut it to the right dimension, see if it'll fit. I had a little bit of work to do just to clean up on the inside of each block, just to make sure that the pieces of board would fit properly. And then after that, just cut a hole for the appropriate input jack and the appropriate volume knob. And it turned out really well. It went through very cleanly, so I was quite happy about that. So here I have to unsolder the pickup in order to get the wiring through the block and down into underneath. It didn't turn out to be too bad of a job. After that wiring was snaked through, I used the soldering gun, heated up the solder again, and put the wires back onto the pickup and transducer itself. So then I just started to paint the cover plates there with just black paint, and that's going to just give it a little bit of a cleaner look as I put it in. You know, a nice black, simple. It'll look good. And here I am just making sure everything's going to fit. The electronics are going to fit in the back. If there's enough room and there's no wires or anything touching. So just doing a mock-up fitting there. So after it was all good, I put some drill holes in it to screw and glue the face plates in, and that turned out pretty well. There was no real issues there, just a couple of drill holes and put some screws in it, and that took care of the job of fixing it to the front of the block there. And then on the underside, used some hot glue and just simply glued the transducer into the hole that I routed out. And that was it pretty much for the transducer. I also hot glued the wiring into the channel that I made, just to keep that clean, just so there's no wires hanging out on the floor. You know, I'm going to be stepping on this, so I don't want the wires to be broken or wore through. Okay, so one of the last things that I did was I took some of the cymbals from a tambourine that I had, and I just screwed a few of these on there so that when I do hit the one pedal with the kind of that I wanted a snare sound from, I'd also get a little bit of cymbal sound. I thought that sounded pretty good. I thought it would be a good idea, so that's all I did was just screw some of that on there. All right, guys, here we are again with the completed projects. I got 2 pedals done, and man, I don't think they turned out too bad at all. They look pretty cool. So here's the finished product. What I'm going to do is later on I'm going to clear coat the whole thing, and that's the last thing that needs to be done. So I've already tested them to make sure that they work, and they both work. And yeah, we're going to give you a sample to see how these things sound. So let's go down to the basement and we'll try them out. Let's go. So I've got the volume on both of them all the way up, and I'm running it through my PA system. So here's what it sounds like. Depending on where you hit it, you'll hit a different sound. And this is with sock feet, so using shoes, you're gonna have a different sound as well. So then on the other side, we got more of a snare-ish type pedal, so check this out. So I got kind of a snare, kind of a bass sound, so. I think they sound pretty good. And they look not too bad. All right, guys, well, thanks so much for joining me. You know, this was a fun project. And I'm gonna get a lot of use out of these. You know, they look cool. I think actually I was just looking at these. I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna steampunk these up. I'm gonna put a bunch of interesting gears and stuff on here. Just give that little bit more of a wow factor. But other than that, I like these things. It was a really fun project. So guys, if you like this video, please do me a favor, give it a like. If you're a new person watching, subscribe. You know, we're gonna have more interesting things to show you. Have an awesome day. See you guys.